Well, ahoy, mateys. We're jumping into 2.2, dividing fractions. We did a little bit of this in class, but I'm going to briefly go through this. So if you want to pause this part, you can. This is what we're doing. Here's what you need to know. First, if you haven't done 2.1, stop this video right now. Go back, watch 2.1 Edpuzzle, do the 2.1 big ideas. You can't do this unless you know how to multiply fractions. Assuming that you've done 2.1, you are now a master of multiplying fractions. All that you have to do is one little step to change this division stuff into multiplication. So basically, dividing fractions is the same as multiplying, but we got to know what a reciprocal is first. So it's a fancy word, this word reciprocal, or multiplicative inverse, another fancy term. Basically what it is flipped over. That's it, flipped over. Reciprocal means flipped over. It's like flipping over a glass. So here, if we have the fraction 3/5 and we want the reciprocal of 3/5, you take the 3/5 and you flip it over. It's 5/3. Boom. So the reciprocal is this fraction flipped over. The way to check it is if you multiply the original fraction by the reciprocal, it has to equal 1. And 3/5 times 5/3 indeed equals 1. All right, try this one. What is the reciprocal of 9/5? You flip it over, it's 5/9. That's it. And you can double check that if you do 9/5 times 5/9. If you multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, you have to get 1, and it works. All right, this one's a little trickier. Try this one. What's the reciprocal of 2? Okay, so you can write 2 as a fraction of 2 over 1. Okay, you just turn it into a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Flip it over, it's 1/2. And 2 times 1/2 is indeed 1. Okay, so now what's the reciprocal of 3/4? Yeah, it's 4/3. What's the reciprocal of 5? Okay, remember 5, you can write it as 5 over 1. The reciprocal is 1/5. What about the reciprocal of 7/2? Yeah, it's 2/7. And the reciprocal of 4/9 is 9/4. Why are reciprocals important? Because this is what, if you're going to take notes, this page right here is what you need to take notes on. When you divide fractions, the way you do it is you multiply the fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Weird. Okay, how that works is if you're doing 1/5 divided by 3/4, you're going to take this 3/4 and you're going to flip it over and make it 4/3. But then it's not a division problem anymore. Now it's a multiplication problem. Okay, so that's the big key right there. This is the important stuff to know. This is what you should write down. Embed in your brain. Okay, now there's a mnemonic device for remembering this. Oh yeah, the answer would be 4/15, by the way, but you knew that. You knew how to multiply. The mnemonic device is you keep the first fraction. You never change the first fraction. First fraction you keep. You change the division sign to a multiplication sign. And you flip the second fraction. So keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, flip the second fraction, then you're done. Okay, now it's your time to practice. Here we go. Try to divide 3/4 by 5/12. Good luck. Okay, let's see how you did. So your first step should have been to rewrite this. You keep the 3/4, you change the division to multiplication, and you flip the 5/12 to 12/5. Okay, and then when you multiply, the way I would do it is you break down the 12 into 2 times 2 times 3, you break down the 4 into 2 times 2, and then you can cancel stuff out. You're left with 9/5. There we go. That's it. So the main thing is you got to remember division of fractions is the same as multiplying. You just have to flip that second fraction over. And that's it. Okay. So if you have questions, make sure to ask as you're working through these. If you're checking answer and they're not right, make sure to raise your hand. Get some help. That's it. All right. Good luck, Pirates. I will see you in class.